Welcome to the B. Lenore Show. Here, we will discuss lifestyle, beauty, celebrity gossip, and current events in our own way, my way, the style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello, lovers. We are back. How y'all doing today? Today is Friday. Shoot, what is today? It's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Child, let me tell y'all something. My mama used to say Friday the 13th was lucky for her. So, I mean, like she refused to put any bad juju on the day. Okay, so I'm a adopt that practice on today. Okay. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Friday. TGIF to all of you. Hey, Coffee is Brewing. Hey, Aunt Natty. Hey, Rossi. Hello, Just Nikki, a lady 747. My girl, Lexi, the law nerd, is in the house. Hello. Hey, Southside Chi-Town. Hey, she's an introvert. Hey, life ain't over, minding business. How you doing, honey? Hey, Diva Shawnee. Hello, Miss Nisi, Mai Tai, 501 Queen. Hello. Hey, Juju D. Let's see. Wait, she's an introvert. I didn't say you. Okay, she's an introvert. Hey, Beauty is her name. Mary Willis is here. You guys do me a favor and hit the MFN like button. Okay, I'm gonna be nice because we got company today. Okay, so hit that motherfucking like button. All right, let these motherfuckers know we live. All right. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I hope y'all having a good day. I'm having a good day. Look, this interview has been going on for about 2 days, and some of it was my fault, and then the rest we're gonna blame on Mother Nature. Okay, we're gonna blame it on Mother Nature because the stars were not aligned for us yesterday. They brought a whole storm through our guest city last night just to keep us apart, but you can't keep us apart. Okay, we're gonna get the tea regardless. All right, we're gonna get the tea. Hey, the real BB, how you doing? Y'all make sure y'all shut up. Coffee is Brewing said I hit the like button 3 hours ago. Okay, teach these other MFers what they should be doing. Okay, just let them know. Okay. What you say? Oh, I need some V Jackson. Some V Jackson if you're nasty. What are you talking about? Anywho, y'all. Hey, Miss Mad About Music. Hey, Soundcheck Annette. Make it rain. How you doing, honey? Okay, so look, if you all are like me, and many of you are reality show fanatics. Okay, I really was a reality show fanatic for real until I got super addicted to YouTube, which is like a reality show every day all day, right? But I still have my favorite shows that I go to. I'm still gonna watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to watch actually a couple of the Real Housewife franchises, to be quite honest, and I'm definitely going to watch Basketball Wives. Okay, and I have been watching it since its inception. All right, and today we're going to have a guest on who happens to be the aunt to a cast member's husband currently on Basketball Wives. Okay, so if you've been following Basketball Wives as long as I have, which was from the beginning, you are very familiar with her newest addition to the family, her new niece, if you will, and that's Jennifer Williams. And we have seen Jennifer Williams go through a lot on the show. a lot. And I'm going to have that conversation with Lauren, because there are things that have always bothered me that she put up with on that show. Seriously. Okay. And I do believe that we have seen a lot of people take advantage of Jen, but I also think that, you know, Jen has exposed herself to some of this, right? So we're going to talk about, we're not here to bash anybody. I just want to invite this auntie on, because in this current season, there has been a lot of mentioning of her. We did see them on the show, but, you know, briefly. And when I say them, I mean she and her husband. But the reason why she's making waves is because there are cast members that have, I guess, challenged the auntie, right? And I think that a lot of it, and I've heard Jen say this before, that some of the pushback is the fact that Jen's never had any real support on the show. I feel like her support has always been sort of wavering where the cast members were concerned. 1 minute they're on her side, next minute they're not. 1 minute we're best friends, the next minute we're not. You know, it's just a lot that has happened. And now Jen is married to our guest's nephew. So we're going to talk about all of it. Okay. Now get this, y'all. She's at Jen and Christian's house as we speak. I got a feeling Jen and Christian might be peeking in to watch. Hey, Jen and Christian. Hey. Let me say this too. We are going to have an interview with Lauren. Right now, we're going to have a conversation with her. And then I'm going to switch the conversation to members only. So we're going to go behind the velvet ropes, I guess. We're going to go behind the scenes, and we are going to allow members to have, you know, about 30 minutes to ask any questions that you may want to ask her. And yeah, that's that on that. Okay, so we are going to do that at the end of this interview. So with that said, I'm going to gift some memberships right now. Okay, I am going to gift some memberships. Okay, let's see who got the 5 memberships. This would be the day, honey. If you want to become a member, today is the day. Today is the day, because we're going to have some behind the scenes convos, okay, with our guests. So let me see who got it. Beauty is her name. Paula D, Sherry Berry, Diva Law, and Wolfpack have all been gifted memberships. Okay. Later on in the show, we'll take another break and I will gift some more memberships. Okay. Lexi Lawner, thank you so much for gifting a membership. D-Dub is the winner. D-Dub is a member on today. Oh my goodness. Lexi, you doing it again? Now Lily is a new member. Thank you, Lexi the Law Nerd. She just gifted 2 people, y'all. So thank you, Lexi the Law Nerd, for gifting that membership. And Lily and D-Dub and everyone that I named earlier, welcome to Club V. Okay? All right. So let's get into it, y'all. I'm about to welcome our guest on. Again, she is the auntie. Okay? They got things to say about the auntie, honey. We're going to talk to her, though. We're going to hear her side of the story, all right? So the spicy auntie is here, the one and only Miss Lauren Stovall. Hi,
Hello.
Lauren.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Did I say your last name correctly? I should have asked
Yes. No, it's correct. It's Stovall.
you. Stovall. Perfect.
Yes.
Hold on one second. We got another gifted membership. Only Me 23. Thank you so much. Friday Child has been gifted a membership. You guys, I may not catch if you're gifting or if anything else comes through. I promise I will take a break and read them off. I may not be able to catch all of the members who are new members, but I promise you I will acknowledge folks or the gifting itself periodically throughout. Okay, just so you guys know. One more thing. Hey, Miss C60. Hey, V in chat. Hello. Thank you for being a member for 12 months. Okay. All right. All right. So, Lauren.
Yes.
Girl. It's been a whirlwind, huh?
Yes, I know, right? The last couple of days and then the power yesterday. Here in Georgia, the weather just do it what it wants. It's things like shifted. We're experiencing April weather in June right now.
Yes.
So
Look, I'm from Ohio. I'm in California now. I literally just moved to California a
oh,
month
nice.
ago,
Uh-huh.
but I'm really from Ohio. And if
Uh-huh.
you know anything about Ohio, you can get all of the seasons in 1 week. You can get rain, snow, 80-degree weather. It's ridiculous. So
Yes.
I lived in Atlanta for a while. So
Oh yes, we get it, and it's just like out of nowhere, the storm came, and then the lights out. I'm like, what is going on around here? But we really literally have rain every day. It's 90 degrees, 80 degrees, and then out of the nowhere, rain comes. So
yep. Now, Lauren, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Alabama,
Okay.
Birmingham. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama.
That's just
Yes.
up the street, 2.5
Yes.
hours or so up the street,
No,
right?
it takes hour 50 minutes flat for
Shut
me.
up. Shut up.
Yeah, because I'm downtown Atlanta, like living downtown.
Yeah.
I get on the hot, get on 20. I can literally get on 20 and shoot straight
Zip
by an
right
hour and 50 minutes. Yeah, totally for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've done that. I've been here in Atlanta for a very long time,
How long?
since 1998.
Really? Okay. That's when I'm away.
Freaknik. No. Yes, I went to Freaknik in like 1994. The year my senior year in high school, 94, I went to Freaknik, and I was like, I want to move to Atlanta.
Pregnant? Jesus.
Yes, like I'm gonna move to Atlanta. And so Freaknik, I am one of the Freaknik movers. Like I literally moved here because of Freaknik.
Shut up.
Yes. And so I was like, when Hulu did the special, I was like,
I had heard of Freaknik for years before I
uh-huh.
moved there in 91.
Mhm.
And no, that's a lie. I moved there in 93. I moved there in
Okay.
93. And so I'd heard of Freaknik. I'd heard people going to Freaknik.
Mhm.
And then when I got there, it was almost like a shock to my system when I saw Freaknik. Because I'll be honest, I'm a church girl, you know, and, that's a lot. Don't get it. But I did grow up in church. I never was really in the streets per se. So when I got to Atlanta, and I'm on my own really for the first real time, and Freaknik came around, I was like, oh my God. Like I the things I saw, you know, I was like, oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
So
Yes. And I came to Freaknik the year that the police were on strike.
oh, really?
Yes. 94, the police were on strike. And so you mean like 200,000 people just.
Yes. I want to
Mhm.
say, was that the year that Tupac got shot?
I think it was. I think that was my senior year. I think it was.
Because
Yes. I think it was.
it was at Freaknik. He
No,
got
it
shot,
was
not
he
the
was shot
second
in
time.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
During the
that
time.
one. Not
Okay.
that time, because you know he got shot
Oh,
before.
okay.
He
Yeah. I
got
think,
shot at Freaknik by an off-duty cop.
gosh, really?
Yeah, go back.
I
You
want to
you,
say
you
that.
remember it's you know, because that I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you. When he actually got shot
Mhm.
in Vegas, I didn't think much of it because
Mhm.
in my
He
mind,
had
Tupac
survived.
had
He had
he
survived so
was
many.
always survived. He was like he had 9 lives, so I almost
Mm-hmm.
didn't get pressed about it at all. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so
Right.
but okay, so you moved to Atlanta because of Freaknik. Ain't that something? Okay. All right.
And it was like the city I wanted to go to. And then I met my ex-husband, which is Christian's uncle.
Yep. Yep.
Uh I
Yep.
met him, and like we hit it off. I met him in March, and because I mean I kind of went to Freaknik, so I always wanted to move to Atlanta.
Right.
But I met him in March and moved here a couple months later. Moved
Wow.
in on my own, like moved, got an apartment, moved in and things like that. And we just dated and end up like, getting married
How
a
long were
year
y'all
later. We got married a year later. We met in 98 and got married in 99.
married? Okay. Okay. And
And yes.
how long were you guys together?
Oh God, we were together for until two. So we was together for a long time. We was probably together like 7 6 7 years. Because we have
Okay.
a son. Yeah, we have a daughter and a son. We have a son and daughter together.
Okay. How old are
Yeah.
the
So
kids?
my daughter is 28
Okay.
and my son is 25.
Okay. Okay. So
So
both
they
of
also, yeah, they grew up. Yeah. So yeah, 28 and 25.
now, so that already answers probably one of the questions that people have, which
Uh-huh.
is why are they referring to her as the fake auntie?
Yes. So I like to clear my middle name is legally Walden because I took on that Walden name. Of course, I got married.
Yeah.
It's three brothers. So myself and my two sister-in-laws, we married the three brothers.
Okay.
And so even when I got divorced, of course, my children, my son, they're being Waldens, and I just made it my middle name, my middle name, because I didn't want to get rid
Hmm.
of the name.
Hmm.
So to everyone, I try to say, I am, like I said on the show, they showed a little bit of that part, I think, because a lot of things was edited. And I told them that my middle name legally on my driver's license, on my social, everything is my middle name is Walden.
Yeah. And I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. I'm sorry if I'm wait, is that me? Is that me or you?
That's not me. I got mine on Do Not Stir.
Mine is on why is this? I got it on silent. This is crazy. Okay. I'm sorry. So, okay, so hopefully that clears some things up for
And
people. And let me say this, and I told you this yesterday, and I mean this, and I have said it multiple times on the show. I have aunts and uncles that are my aunts and uncles, but not by blood. And they have been closer than many of my blood relatives. Like the blood in and of itself is not enough to make you my family. You know what I'm saying? So Lauren, did I lose you? You're frozen. She's frozen, y'all. I can hear something. Oh, I think she's coming
am I
back.
back?
You're back. Yes. Okay. You are back. You are back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lauren? Let me
Looks
call
like
her.
she is.
Can you hear me? Let me call her, y'all.
Stop.
Hold on.
Do you see me?
I can see you. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I was just calling you. So here's
Okay.
the thing. Did your phone ring? Because sometimes if the phone rings, it'll pop
I
you back.
got mine on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
What can I get?
Cool beans. But what I was saying is that I have aunts and uncles who are much closer than some blood relatives, and blood alone is not enough to make you my family. I'm just saying.
And Christian and I have been, it's like I said, my exes, when we met in 98. So that kind of gives you context of how long I've really been in Christian's life.
Yeah.
I am still, my current husband and we're all kind of a blended family. My husband hangs out with like Christian's dad, who is like, my brother for all these years. They hang out, and his other uncles, they all hang out. They've like my husband, like he looks like the rest of them. So they
Yeah.
hang out. My husband and I,
I can see that.
my husband and I, we've been there for my ex-husband, because he's ill. So
Oh my God.
we'll go and we'll do things. We'll help out with him. My ex-husband comes over for Father's Day dinner or different things like that. We're just all one big blended family. I think people tend, when they do that, they tend to leave out that, my children are Christian's first cousins. I've been in his life since he's about 5 or 6 years old. And my husband has become a part of this family as well, too. And also, so I'm not a fake auntie.
Yeah, no, you're not a fake
Right.
auntie. So whatever.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, I may not have gone into detail, but I'm kind of the same way. I've always had family members. In fact, one of my aunts in particular, I remember her, when I came into the world, she's married to my Uncle David, right?
Hmm.
And then maybe when I'm 5, they get a divorce. Uncle David still remained Uncle David to me.
Hmm.
And then she went on to get married again. And at Christmases and New Year's, Uncle David and Uncle
Hmm.
Leon, her new husband, we were all
Yes.
at Christmas. We were all at Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
And we were all at
Absolutely.
the spades card night party. So I get
Right.
it. I get it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I have the
Hmm.
same kind of relationship now with my son's dad. So I get it completely. So with that said, when did you become a part of this storyline? Because and let me just say this: Jennifer Williams is again one of the original cast members from Basketball Wives. When we met her, she was married to Eric Williams,
Hmm.
who I have, when I told you I was listening to the show I did last year, and I was dragging him and that golf ball on the side of his head forever because I felt like I didn't understand why Jim was with him. Besides the golf ball, I really didn't understand because he seemed mean. He seemed mean spirited towards her, uninterested in her. That was the perception. Again, we're not in their house, so we didn't know. But
Mhm.
obviously, they're not together anymore. We
Right.
knew her as being best friends with Evelyn Lozada for many, many years on the
Mhm.
show. So now that she has this new relationship, and mind you, let me say this before I let you answer. When once she was divorced from Eric, we got to see her a little bit. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he came on Basketball Wives. I don't think so, but she was on Sweetie Pies when she was
Mhm.
dating Tim Norman. Then we hear what happens with Tim Norman, right?
Mhm.
And then we hear that there's another guy that she dated who scammed her out of a car, right? And
Mhm.
that is, all of those things are violations, okay?
Right.
Eric
Right.
disrespected her on camera verbally and then threw water in her face or a drink in her face. Then you got this other guy who he's in prison now
Mhm.
for not even allegedly
Mhm.
being convicted of coordinating the unaliving of his nephew.
Right.
She's been scammed again from somebody else, I should say. When did and now she's with Christian, right? So
Mhm.
when did you get pulled into this storyline with Basketball Wives?
Well, um, we went to the engagement party, I should say. Well, the family kind of learned about, I understand their privacy because she had been through,
Yeah,
some relationship issues,
yeah.
as well as Christians had his share of relationship, hardships as well too, as many of us do have those growing pains of relationship issues
Mhm.
as we go and try to figure out life. And so we found out they really kept their relationship private. And then we all kind of start, finding out from the internet and things like that that happened. And once I found out, I did reach out to Christian and I told him, I said, wow, it's going to be hard for Auntie because you know how I am about you, how protective I am. It's going to be very hard for me. Um, with the show and different things like that, which I didn't know. I knew she was on it because I've been a fan of Basketball Wives since the beginning as well too.
Mhm.
So I just knew that at that time she was still on the show.
Mhm.
And I told my husband, I said, your nephew is dating Jennifer Williams. And he's like, really? And I said, yes. And he said, I was like, it's all over the internet or things like that. And so he started texting Christian and telling him he was happy for him. He was like, Uncle loves this for you. This is exactly, what you need and things like that. So my husband was just like, putting a different perspective on this. Like he's had women who were younger and they were provoking. They were provoked. They were just young. They were, just the ones that's always in your ear, the ones that's just like trying to provoke you. Just
Yeah.
one relationship, they're insecure, they're jealous. And so he said, I love this for him. This is going to be good for him. And so I was like, you know what? I can see your point. And so Christian reached out to us as far as the engagement party.
Mhm.
Um,
So that
we
was your
went,
first time meeting her at the engagement
yes,
party? Okay.
yes. I had seen her before, but never personally met her. Like I had seen her in person before, but never met her.
With him?
Uh, no, not with him.
Outside. Okay. Okay.
Outside, yes.
Okay.
And I had seen her before, but just never personally met her.
Gotcha.
And so we went to the engagement party, and from the moment that she walked in, she was stunning. She was just as beautiful as you see her, just as elegant and everything when she walked in. And I was with Christian. Christian's mom and I are very, very close. And so I was with his mom and everything. We were standing there when she came in, and I had brought gifts for them for their engagement party gifts. So that following, after the engagement party was on a Monday, that Wednesday, they came over to our condo. And wow, I think they got there around 6, and they didn't leave until 1 in the morning.
Okay.
So we ate and we drank and stuff like that. And we just, had wine, and we had a really good time.
Mhm.
And so I kind of fast forwarding, her Christian's mom and Jen's best friend plans her bridal shower. And his mom got really ill and could not go. So she asked me to take her place.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and going to the bridal shower. And I was like, sure, I'm going anyway. She had a fabulous bridal shower that her best friend planned for her at Saks Fifth Avenue on Fifth Avenue in New York.
Nice.
So I kind of helped her best friend with all the games and little things like that. And Jen and I just started to like really start to have a bond, and even so, because at this time we're doing things to prepare for the wedding, like we're running errands, we're shopping, we're doing little things. And when the attorney started all the mess and Christian had to go with the court stuff, when he did have to go do his days, I stayed here at the house with Jen.
That's what I heard. I was going to ask you about that because Jim mentioned that in the Carlos King interview.
Yes, I
And
stayed with her those
okay,
whole 12 days.
you
Um,
and Christian's mom, correct?
Yeah, his Christian's mom stayed a couple days.
Okay.
But she has a job. She said
Okay.
she has a job, so she stayed a few days. But I know she had to go back, at home and different things like that. So I just did not want to leave Jen here by herself because she had not, really went through anything like this before. My husband and I, we were going to court with her. My husband totally, I'm like, he would come over, but he just knew like not saying my assignment, but I was going to stay here. I was not leaving her by herself here. Um, and so we really had an opportunity to just like really bond the days that I was here with her, and people who were concerned about what was going on. And I'm not saying rightfully so, her family who was concerned. I was just here as a listening ear, talking to her and things. I always say that I tell her funny, like she was born before her time because like she is she has so much energy, and she is just unbothered, and she's just so I look at it like, even though she and I are the same age, I just really look at it like she's my little niece, you
Well,
know.
now let's talk about it because that's
Mhm.
one of the things I was about to ask you. Now I'll
Uh-huh.
be honest with you.
Hmm.
Okay. You said y'all are the same age, so I'm guessing you're around
Hmm.
49-ish.
Yes, I
Okay.
am. Hmm.
I'm 55.
Hmm.
Okay. I have a 33-year-old son.
Hmm.
If my son
Hmm.
came home with someone my age,
Hmm.
I'm going to have a problem with it. In fact, I'm not going to have a problem. They're going to have a problem because they're going to have a problem with me.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, did you have any? I mean, let's be transparent. Did you have any concerns about the fact that this woman is 30 years older than this man?
Uh,
Or 20,
initially
maybe
19. Yeah, they're 19. Yeah. I did initially when I first heard about it, it caught me off guard a little bit,
yeah.
but once my husband put it into perspective for me because of what things that Christian has gone through, once Christian talked about this, she's my peace. That's all that mattered to me because I had seen him go through some very, tumultuous relationships. So the fact that she keeps him so grounded and so calm, and she really is his peace. Um, I love him. I love her for him and him for her. Those Waldens, I have to say, it may be genetics because all of them love older women.
Oh, really?
Even for his uncle, I was really the first woman that he dated that was younger than him. So they love older women. My son himself, older. A lot of
So,
them, that's how they are.
so if your son came home with someone your age, you'd be okay with it?
Hey, at this point, I take it. Listen, at this point, I
Not
would
at this.
take. At this point, I want them to be my age for my son. At this point,
Okay. Okay.
but it's like I don't have. I think the age thing, when we look at it, when men can date women that's 19 years older than them, 19 years younger than them, but when a woman dates a man that's younger than her, then it's supposed to be this, well, I wouldn't want them to come home with my son or things. But that's the same way. We have men that date women that are 20 years younger than them.
They do.
And,
Now,
and I
let,
don't.
let's be clear though. The difference is this. Women tend to mature faster than men,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so here's my thought about it. And I'll use my own life as an example. So my ex-husband was 7 years older than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't feel like anything to me because as a woman, I am going to be more mature than probably a guy my same
Mm-hmm.
age, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it really wasn't a big deal. My son, on the other hand, started dating a girl that was about 7 years older than him. And I
Mm-hmm.
was looking at her like, I mean, she seemed like she was a nice girl, and everything. But I'm not going to lie, there were times when I was looking at her sideways, like, why would you want this guy who's 7 years younger than you? This was just me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was a young lady who was in the entertainment business, which
Mm-hmm.
is also something that will age you quickly. When I say age, I
Right.
mean mature you up
Mhm,
quickly. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about Jen, here she is. She's 19 years older than him. She's
mhm,
probably really 25 years older than him mentally, in my mind,
mhm,
because she's a woman. And then she was in the entertainment business too. So my thought was, what it's not that they can't find things in common. I'm not suggesting that at all. And obviously they seem very happy.
mhm.
But you didn't have any concerns about those things at
Once
all?
I once I met her, no, the concerns went away once I met her because I feel like, and I feel a little bit different in regards to the industry. When you're in the industry, I think the industry does the opposite versus, especially TV. Instead of it maturing you, I think it keeps you a little bit younger because I was in the industry. I was in the film industry for 10 years.
I was going to ask you about that. I want to know more about
Yeah.
that.
So I think it because you have to the way you have to navigate in the dynamic that you are in with always being on the go, always having to have different hair, makeup, you got everything going on. So a lot of times in the actual world where we're dealing with a lot of real life shit every day,
Yeah.
when you're in the industry of that kind, you're a little bit away from the everyday. Like we talk about military. My husband spent 21 years in the military. Okay. When he met me, I had been in the civilian world all my life. But for him, he had been there since he was 17 up until the time he was 39. So the civilian world was a lot different for him. Whereas he may have been mature, but this man didn't even know about like the everyday things that I knew about because the military had been doing that. And Jen has had people do things for her so much, and she's come from money. Jen
Yeah.
is she comes from money. So she had car services at high school, taking her back and forth to school. So a lot of things that Christian has done in the real world, I'm not saying that she wasn't in the real world, their worlds were just different, is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. So they really balance each other off. And so when I met her, I really was able to see how they balanced each other off. And when I say Christian really needed a woman who was secure, he's a very handsome, he's a very nice looking guy.
Yes.
He has dealt with his share of insecure women, and he needed a woman who was secure in herself. He needed a woman who didn't, who was content, and regardless of what, she was going to be good regardless. Whether
Okay.
he left, whether he was there today or gone tomorrow, she was going to be good within herself, and she loves herself. It's
Mhm.
so important as a woman to love yourself, because I say all the time, unless I love myself, I'm incapable of loving anyone else.
Absolutely.
So she loves herself,
Mhm.
and that made them really balance off. I'm not going to say that I didn't think about the age difference, initially, but when my husband put everything into perspective for me, and we saw that this is really what he needed, it was his peace. And a lot of times, Jen is like, "Hey, let's go. I want to go out," and Christian wants to be the homebody.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Let me
I'm
ask you
not.
this. This
Yes.
is kind of personal, and if you don't feel comfortable answering this question, I understand. Um, uh, you know, Jennifer doesn't have any children. Now I understand Christian does. Do they want children together? Because that would be
Uh,
another thing that would, make me wonder if
Yes,
this is
Christian
gonna
does have children. And Jen, like you said, Jen does not. And Jen always says whatever's in God's plans.
last. Okay. Okay.
Yes, she's not against it. She's not. It's just like whatever's in God's hand. She leaves that in God's hand, and whatever's in His plan.
Okay. Okay. That's
Mhm.
fair. That's fair.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
now you mentioned that you've worked in the industry for 10
Hmm.
years. I heard in a recent interview you mentioned that you knew Diddy. You
Hmm.
worked with him when you were in the business. What did you do in the business? And tell me a little bit about how you came to know Sean P. Diddy Combs.
I was a casting. I started off as a casting director,
Okay.
and then I moved up into a film producer. So I've worked with a lot of different directors: Chris Robinson, Hype,
Hmm.
Benny. I worked with a lot of the different directors, and
Benny Medina?
Boom,
Oh,
Benny Boom.
Benny
Yeah,
Boom.
Benny. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
actually, Benny Boom's video was the first one I ever worked on. The I Need a Girl Part 2 in Miami
okay.
with I excuse me, because I call him Puff a lot because
Yeah.
that's what I knew him as. Yeah. Him and Loon and Genuine. That was actually the first video I ever worked on.
Okay.
And I met him then. So Christian's other aunt, she was Kim Porter's personal hairstylist.
Yeah, I heard you say that too. How
Yes.
long was she her stylist? Up until her death, or
And yeah,
oh my goodness, really?
yes. Hmm.
Wow. So she
So
really does know them
hmm
probably pretty well.
and Christian's first cousin, um, my other niece who always talks about I don't play about them.
Uh-huh.
She is the blogs. I'll just put it this way: she was the nanny. That she was never the nanny.
Oh no, you froze again, Lauren. No. Oh no. This is getting good. Lauren, come back. Come back. Uh Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm trying to look at.
Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Looks
Okay.
like she's coming back. You're back. I was like, no, it's getting good. Okay. Can you
I
hear
can
me?
see her.
Can you hear me now?
Well, I can see myself.
Can you hear me?
I don't see her.
If you can hear me, hey Lauren, can you hear me now? Uh-oh. Let me call her.
Okay, can you see me now?
I can see you. I could always see you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay.
If
I
you
took it
have,
off the Wi. I took it off the Wi-Fi.
oh, okay. Okay. I was
Okay.
gonna say if something like that happens again, you may
Mm-hmm.
need to like go all the way out and then come click
Mm-hmm.
that link
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I took it off the Wi-Fi. We'll see if that works. But
Okay.
as I was saying, I'm just gonna say without just bringing. She was the blogs was basically kind of saying the nanny who lived there or whatever, or who sued him, whatever. But she was not the nanny. But
Wait,
uh,
that's Christian's first cousin?
yes, my other niece.
So
So what
your niece worked, I guess, for her. You saying she's not the nanny. What was
she
her role?
lived she lived there. She took care of she lived there. She was like her goddaughter.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hmm. Up
And
until
so
death. Up until death.
lived in that house.
Yes.
This we need a whole nother live. The,
So
let me ask you this real quick. Okay, go ahead.
and I only say that to bring that people who are saying, oh, he's a scammer or a clout or different things like that. I say these things to say that our family, Christian, has been around entertainment all his life. He's been around certain things. His family has had a certain wealth and doing fine, where he was not just chasing, you know, people to manipulate them or to have them invest and do these type of things like that. He just has been around. These things are not new to him, because he's been around this all of his life.
Let me ask you this real quick. Um, and again, I'm just gonna ask it because you brought it up. Does your niece feel, this is kind of off subject, does she feel that Kim Porter's passing was suspicious?
I don't ask her.
You
I
don't.
don't ask her, no, because this whole situation was traumatic enough for her.
Okay.
So I don't ask her as her aunt. And she and I, same way, have had a very close special relationship, just like Christian and I, ever since they were young, young. And I don't even ask. Um,
Mm. God, that
she
would be one
is
of my first questions.
yeah, I
Slow
just
it
because
down.
I know because of it because it's traumatic for her. Things have, this she really grieved. I'm like, she really went through it and she grieved. So therefore, I don't same way I'm like I'm very protective over her feelings as well too.
Yeah. What
Hmm.
about does she still talk to the girls at least? She's still in relationship with the family?
Uh, I would I have to decline to answer
Okay.
that one.
Okay. Okay. We're
Okay.
off that. You brought it
Yeah.
up. I was like, wait, what
But
girl? Okay.
no, I just
Okay.
have to decline. Yeah, I have to decline to answer that one.
Okay. That's totally fine. I completely get it. Okay. Now back to them. Um, I there you brought up a couple of things. So one of the things too that we have heard is that and clear this up for me. So Christian did how many years in prison? I know that he was sentenced to 10. My understanding is he didn't do 10
No.
years in, and it was for false imprisonment, correct?
Yes. He
Had nothing
did
to
four and a
do
half.
with scamming or anything like that.
No, he did 4.5 years.
Did 4.5.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, the victim, she wrote in a letter. He got a new attorney, and they worked with the victim, and she wrote a statement, impact statement, asking, for him to be released early and things like that. So he did not have to serve the entire time. He was charged with domestic violence and false imprisonment. He was acquitted. That's what I had to get someone together the other day, and they said he puts his hands on it. No, he was acquitted, or they did not find him guilty of domestic violence. What they found him guilty was false imprisonment. And in Georgia, the false imprisonment, she had been drinking, and he took her keys and her phone because he didn't want her to leave because she had been drinking. So she went over the balcony. They lived on the third floor, so she went out and over the third floor balcony.
Hold on before you go any further with that. Okay, so let's go back. This is a girlfriend. the woman who is the mother of his children?
No, this was a girlfriend, much younger. That they were very much younger. Yes.
Okay, very much younger.
Mhm.
Let me also understand that, well, if he's 20, he's 30 now or 29?
No, Christian's 32.
Oh, he's 32. Okay, he's
Yes.
32. So, and he's been out of prison how long?
Six. He's been out, I think it's been out like 6 years.
Okay,
7
so
years.
he was very young when he went in.
Yes, very, very young. Yes.
Prior to that situation, had he ever been charged with domestic abuse?
No, never. Never.
Okay. And so this
Never.
particular woman, this was a girlfriend or what have you. I'm guessing, and you said she had been drinking.
Yes, they had been drinking some wine. They both had wine. They had been drinking some wine.
Okay.
And they had an argument, or they were a disagreement or argument. I'll just say what it was, an argument. They got into an argument.
Okay.
And he took her keys and her phone because she was trying to leave and she had been driving. I'm sorry, she had been drinking.
But he had been drinking too. And he left, right? So
no,
why
he didn't leave. No, he didn't leave initially. He didn't leave initially. What happened was she went out the balcony door and he didn't see her because she had went over the baluster. So
why was she, because the story has been told that she was locked in that bedroom.
No, that is so untrue. That is so untrue. She was never locked in a bedroom.
So why did she need to go off the balcony and not just go out her front door?
Because he didn't want her to leave because she had been drinking.
So he was present when she jumped off the balcony.
He didn't see, he no longer saw her. He went to go check to see like where did she go? And when he no longer saw her, but that's because she was over the balcony. So he went out the front door looking for her.
He was there when she did it.
Yes, he went out the front door looking for her because he was like, he thought maybe she did go out the front door. Where did she went? So he went to go look for her. And at that time, she couldn't hang on anymore. So she fell from the third story to the floor, to the ground.
Okay.
So he went out. He literally went to go look for her.
So he went back to the bedroom to see where she was. She wasn't there. He went outside.
I don't know where a bedroom comes from. It was always the bathroom. It wasn't a bedroom. They were literally in the bathroom. The transcripts talk about they were in the bathroom.
So where's the balcony door, though? Where is that off of? It's not off of the bedroom anywhere?
No, it's off of the family room.
Ah, okay. So when you say he went to check to see where she was,
she was already hanging over the balcony, and he looked out. He was looking out for her and didn't see her. Like, how the balcony is. He didn't see her standing out on the balcony, so he had no idea that she was actually hanging on there. So that's why he left out to go look for her.
Okay, so so this is the part I'm confused about. So if she wasn't confined in a room that he was not in, because you're saying that the balcony is off from the family room, where was he that he didn't see her leak? Because I mean, obviously, I don't know the layout of the space that we're talking about, but if the balcony is not off from the bedroom and it's off from the family room, wouldn't he have seen her walk out? Where was he? In the bedroom? That's what I'm confused about.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, baby?
Oh.
Okay, yes. That's what I was saying. That story's incorrect. I don't know where the bedroom came from.
Christian, tell me the damn story. Okay.
Yeah, it was the bathroom. It started at the bathroom. So I don't know like where the bedroom part came, but
I think people are questioning, and I have this question too. It's like, why would this woman feel the need to jump off of a ledge, if you will, as opposed to calling 911 but see, then again, she didn't have her phone, right? She didn't go out the front door. She didn't have her phone or her keys, but she was still determined to leave the house. So why didn't she just walk out the front door? That's the part I don't get.
Right. Just as the jury was presented with all the facts and they declined to charge him with domestic violence. So they felt like he had not done anything to abuse her, which he did not. He didn't
Okay.
do anything to abuse. So I really feel like, and the reason why I'm cautious about saying this, because at the end of the day, she's a victim, okay? But and I don't want to victim bash, but if I was really being completely transparent and honest without trying to victim bash, I would and when it comes to women and things like that, I really tread lightly. But I want to say she had been drinking and she was being dramatic, okay? And I have a daughter and I have nieces, and I take what I'm saying, I tread lightly with that. However, I have a son, and I seen my nephew go through something that was very hard for
I'm sure.
me, his aunts, and his mom, from a female who was wanting attention, seeking attention, being dramatic, who does not hold her alcohol, who could not hold her alcohol well. Okay.
Had this been a practice of hers to be overly dramatic and to seek attention and that sort of thing? Had that
Yes.
been her thing?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How old was she, by the way? Just curious.
She was very young. I don't really remember. I don't recall. I don't really remember how old she was. Young. They were young, like in their like 2021. That's like that, something like that age. They had an apartment together. The apartment was theirs together.
Okay.
So I just don't really recall. So the reason why I don't kind of like, I want to say the story of what happened, but I really am careful about women saying things with women who the court has felt was a victim, okay? But I want to put it this, I'll say this. There are women who we see all the time, whether on TV or different places, who are dramatic, who seek attention, who are aggressive. They want to provoke. They're just, you know, really just like they don't handle their liquor well.
Sure.
So
I,
I'll just put it that way. I would just say I don't want to, because I've been accused of um bullying her or bashing her. I was told by the judge that I was going to go to jail for contempt because
the judge
it
said that to you?
yes, I was going to go to jail because it's that's in the transcript as well. Because she came while they were in court every day. She did this long Facebook post about how much she loved him and she never wanted any of this to happen. And she's posting pictures of him all over her page. And they were together. They even resumed their relationship afterwards.
Oh, really?
they
Well,
started they started right back, they picked right back up where they left off in a relationship. So again, without just really, saying things about her, whatever she felt, I don't know why she felt the need to do that. I would just put it this way, is that whatever she was going through her mind at that time, or why she did what she did, me personally, in my personal opinion, it was seek to get his attention.
okay. Now, what do you say for people who would say you weren't there?
Hmm.
So you're hearing one side of the story. You're hearing
Hmm.
what your nephew, who you love, told you, and surely she has a different side. Because here's the question. Here's my thing. When she jumped off, obviously she was hurt badly, right?
Hmm.
Because
Yes.
how did the police even come to charge her? I mean, I'm
Hmm.
sorry, charge
Charge
him
him.
for the things like domestic abuse and
She even dropped it. She dropped it. The state picked it up.
exactly based
Yeah.
upon the
So
information they had.
right. And I was there every day in court, except the only day I was not in court was one of the days where the judge was going to put me in contempt of court and have me arrested. So that was the only day that I wasn't there, because one of his aunts texted me and said, "Don't come to court today.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
do not come. The judge wants to put you in jail."
What
So,
were you saying something on social media? Is that what it
well,
was?
yeah, I responded to her post like, get the,
You'll
like,
do that, won't you? We'll talk about that in
yeah.
a minute. You
I
was
responded to her post like, don't post my nephew, don't post this, stuff or whatever. Like, I was there every day in court. I heard her testimony. I heard what she was saying. Um, her mom took money from Christian's mom. They played all kind of games. Okay, so it was a lot of stuff that was going on. My sister, his Christian's mom, literally had wrote this lady a good, like a nice lump sum of money check. So they was playing all kind of games. So I was pissed because you playing games, and to anyone, when the judge started talking about the fact that she can get $250,000 having to be paid to her, well, they started playing even more games. So that's how I feel about, it. So yes, I did respond to her.
okay. Okay. We'll talk about some other responses in a few. Okay. Okay. And let me say this too, because I'm sure others will think this. A lot of times women do, I pay more attention to what the state charges versus what the victim or alleged
Mhm,
victim say, because a lot of times victims either a don't report stuff, or
mhm,
they when it looks like they're being charged with something, they don't want to participate in having this person charged with a crime, and yet and still they still did the abuse, if you will.
mhm,
Okay. And
mhm,
I think about, Chris Brown and Rihanna.
mhm,
When their whole situation ended, they tried to get back together too,
mhm.
but it didn't erase the fact that she was beaten. You know what I'm saying? That did happen. That
And
happened.
that's so unfortunate that they erased it, but they erased the fact that I was in the industry during that time as well. We knew what happened before it even hit the blogs. I actually know who it happened behind. So the person that it initiated with. But what's also is unfortunate is her hitting him so many times, and to the point where he felt he had to hit back. As so many times as women,
And he was
we,
19. So I'm not
mhm,
look, I
mhm,
don't demonize, a lot of people do. I don't demonize Chris Brown because I
right.
felt like he was a kid. He
Hmm.
probably wasn't emotionally
Hmm.
intelligent. He
Hmm.
had seen a lot of abuse in his life.
Right.
So I get it. I get it. So
Right.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
And
I
you
just
having a son, like, and I have a son. If there's a woman that's literally punching him in the face, hitting them with a stiletto shoe, and I know my husband teaches our daughter, don't put your hands on a man if you don't want a man to put his hands on you.
yeah, but
And we do know that men are much stronger, but I know that I have a daughter that is one of these young girls out here that she gets wild, she gets busy.
yeah,
My I just put it that my daughter is very volatile. She don't care. Like
fly off
she
the handle.
yes, yes. So she's a lot. Yes, that's a lot to handle.
I
And
Here's the thing.
so
I agree. I do think that women should not put their hands on men.
mhm.
And I do think sometimes you open the door when that happens, but I'll never excuse a man for hitting a woman.
Oh,
You know what
absolutely
I'm saying?
not.
I think
Absolutely not.
regardless of whatever they're doing, you're right. If it,
Hmm.
the woman should be of the mindset,
Hmm.
don't put your hands on them unless you want it back.
Absolutely. I
But
would
I
never put
still
my
am gonna
hands on
have
my
a problem
husband.
if a man does it. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna have a problem.
exactly. Like my husband's pissed me off so many times that I probably wanted to just hit, but I've never put my hands, because my husband has made it clear to me at the point in time that he gets so upset with me that he wants to put his hands on me, that's it, the relationship is over for him, because he is, at the man that he is, he's not going to put his hands on. And my husband has been in Christian's life since he was a very young 14, 15 years old. So he has modeled himself as a man to treat me exactly how he would want them to treat women and things like that as well. He has modeled himself around that. And he's also told them, don't put yourself in situations and be with women who will try to provoke you to that
To
point
do
as
that.
well too. Yeah, he's constantly talked to them, and and let them know that if a woman is getting you to the point where you feel like you just can't walk away, then that's not the woman for you, no matter how you feel about her.
I agree. I agree.
Yes, and I want to also say this really quick, Valerie, that while we was in court, they said verbatim that he would have been better off letting
Letting
her
her.
drive
Yeah.
intoxicated
Yeah.
than taking the things. He would have never been charged with false imprisonment or anything like that. He'd have just let her leave that day. Even if she had hit and killed someone, he
Let
would
me
have been
ask you
charged
this. Why did he take her phone though? Why take her
because
phone?
she was yeah, because she was trying to leave. I mean, I just think in the moment that everything that was going on, he grabbed her keys and her phone, like, no, you're not leaving. You've been drinking, you're not leaving. And I said, what didn't we grow up with don't let your friends drive drunk, mothers against
Yeah.
drunk driving? We grew up with all these things that say don't let people around you drive and they've been drinking. But then yet when he took her phone or things like that or her keys, why did they say she'd have been better or he'd have been better off letting her leave and hitting and killing somebody?
And but well, look, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and you're right. Uh, everything, both things can be true. Both
Mm-hmm.
things can be true. That we've been taught that it is that to be responsible for your friends may require that you
Mm-hmm.
remove the keys or whatever. But I guess the thing is, and I don't want to stay on this. We're gonna move from
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand taking the keys, but when you take the phone, now you're restricting my ability to call
Mm-hmm.
help. I
Right.
mean, if you let her have her phone and she leaves, she's not driving. Evidently, she's
Absolutely.
either going to have to get an Uber or somebody's going to
Mm-hmm.
pick her up. And she's a grown ass woman. Let her go and do what she needs to do. I guess that's sort of what stands out for some people. Like, why'd you take the phone?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And I don't think that, and I think with one thing about Christian, he hasn't shied away from accountability in the matter. Like, even if he tells his side and how he feels or whatever, I do know that he's taken, like, I probably could have did things a little bit differently. Like you said, maybe taking the keys, but not her phone.
Yeah.
They had been dating for a while, long enough to have a place together. So I don't think he thought that it would just go that far, but he's never shied away from taking accountability for
With
his actions or things like that. We've never held him unaccountable. Like you said, hey, this girl had, things have been happening leading up. Even though we may feel he should have walked away a long time ago, he did not.
okay.
Like we were like, hey, his mom was like, hey, I don't think this girl's good for you. There's too much going on. There's always something. So I
Okay.
think that he's had to live and digest with the things that could have done differently as well too. But you're 2021 years
Yeah.
old at the
Yeah. I
time.
agree. I agree. And to be honest,
Mhm.
I have been in situations where it's a wonder I haven't been hurt, to be quite
Right.
honest, because I have gotten big and bad when I was not emotionally intelligent enough to handle things in a more responsible manner. So I
Hey, well,
get that.
exactly. And this is 10 years. This is the 10th year right here. So he'll be 32 in on Wednesday, but he's 30. This
Oh
has
wow.
been 21 years old. I mean, this is 10 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so hey, I just, put it that way.
All right.
Mhm.
Now let's fast forward to he gets out of prison. What was he doing for income at that time when he first came out? I know that he's a trader, if you will. I don't
Mhm.
know what he calls his business right now, but
Mhm.
what is this something he's been doing immediately after getting out of prison, or how did he get
Now,
into trading?
when he got out, his Christian has an older brother. And when he got out, his brother was a part of an organization that does credit repair. So Christian was doing that for a while. He was
Okay.
doing credit repair for a little while. And so he started that. And in the interim, I'm just going to say to fast it up, to speed up a little bit, doing the credit repair, Christian was speaking. He was doing speaking engagements. He was doing seminars and things like that. So he actually met some people who were trading. It was an interest to him. They were trading, and I just want to clear it up. You can be a felon and trade. So he got into trading, and by networking and meeting people while he was doing the credit repair, networking and meeting people who were trading, and so that's how he got into trading.
But he can't
Also,
trade.
the children's mother. That's how he met the children's mother,
Oh,
and
really?
they actually,
Oh,
yes, and they actually started trading together.
got you. Okay, because I
Mhm.
got a question about her too. Um, but just so we're clear, he can't trade for other people.
No, he does not trade for other people. He
Okay,
mentors
teach
and
people
teaches them.
how to
Yes, he teaches them how to. So when they open up their own account, they open the accounts is for them and everything like that. They can monitor their own accounts. He doesn't have to monitor, he doesn't have to help. However, if you do need help or assistance, like say for instance, me, I don't know how to trade. I don't know what I'm looking at. When I see him on his laptop and he it just looks like a bunch of weird lines to me, like I cannot grasp it. So if I wanted to get into trade, like he's taught my husband, he's taught my son, he's taught both of them what to look for, how to look, and different things like that. So he is mentored and he has taught them how to trade.
Okay. Okay. Now I did see where he's let me play something for you because it's kind of twofold. Wait,
And
okay.
he was trading years before he met Jennifer. So he was actually trading prior to meeting Jennifer.
And so
He had clients prior to meeting Jennifer.
and when okay, so I know Carlos asked him about the trading and whatnot, and
Mhm.
he asked Jennifer as well, have you, has Christian helped you with trading? And
Mhm.
she said, yeah. She
Mhm.
also said that she watched him one day make a trade, if you will, and
Mhm.
money just start. I mean, she could see how the money was just rolling in
Mhm.
like really
Mhm.
quickly.
Mhm.
And that's when she kind of wanted to get involved and have him help her, right?
Mhm.
Some have
Mhm.
questioned that maybe what she saw wasn't necessarily accurate. Maybe it was like AI or something like that. What do you say about that?
No.
Okay.
So so
Okay.
so
Hi,
what
Jennifer. I'm here.
so okay.
What she said?
Hold on. There, yeah, there's. Hold on. So
Tell her to
what?
get me together. I welcome it. Come get me together, child.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
so what happened? That's not true. So we'll say one of the people. Let's just use one of the people for example. One of the people invested $1,200. Okay, into they funded their account. They literally funded their account $1,200
Mm-hmm.
and 24 hours, and they were managing. They Christian helped them get set up and everything. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
funded their account $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
Once they funded it in 24 hours, that 1,200 went from 1,200 to 13,000 in 24 hours. They decided that they wanted to pull the money out of their accounts. And Christian's like, cool, that's fine. You can pull your money out. He has the receipts, he had the text messages and everything.
Okay.
So I think what upsets them is that when people like all these stories on the internet, like you said, like it was AI or somebody didn't see that, when you make trades, you can literally see like these crazy looking lines or whatever like that. But he has actual clients who have made, I should say clients, I should say people, I say clients because that's just a term, but he has people who he has helped, who he's mentored, who he has helped make very good money on trades. Okay.
So basically, the people pay him a fee for
A
to be taught.
consultation fee, yes, to
And
help
how
them
is
to teach them how to set up their accounts, to teach them how to what they need to look for, how to, like, like when trades are up. I mean, I've seen Christian like normally he's probably, I'm still asleep, but normally he gets up early, like 6 a.m. He's trading, he's on there, and then because that's the high time of when the trade is going on. So he knows, he teaches this peaks moments. They're coming now.
Uh-oh.
They're
Come
coming.
on.
So I just have to address
Get
something.
me
Like,
together,
okay,
Jennifer.
hold on. I'm gonna let them.
Hi,
I'm gonna
Jennifer.
let,
This is crazy. First
What's
of all, I
wrong?
saw what I saw because I know what trading looks like.
I just want
Hi, how you doing?
okay.
Now,
Go ahead. People have said this, Jennifer. Have you not heard people ask this?
you know what? People have said a lot of things, so I don't really pay attention. Like I literally live my life, and for some reason, people are uber invested. But what I have seen Christian make a lot of money. I've seen him lose money.
Okay.
It wasn't AI. Like I saw it with my own eyes. I know the platform. Like I said, do I know how to trade? No, but it's not AI. Like this, it happens. People make a lot of money and they
I
can
agree.
lose a lot of money.
I agree.
So what I saw was not bullshit at
So
all.
let me ask you this, because there is some person, I think, that's currently, are they suing you right now, Christian, that suggests that uh they invested with you, or you taught them how to trade. The first day they made a lot of money, but then after that they made no more money, right? And
So
they
when you so first of all, hello.
That's probably Altera, and she's a fucking crash out.
okay, that
So
is her name.
you have to understand something really quick. And we're looking at we're real estate shopping in Vegas right now, so we were a little preoccupied. Um, so really quick, when you talk about day trading is not a get rich quick scheme. So when people see our lives and they see how we live, we don't flaunt it. We just live it. We post a photo and we're in Europe, then we're just in Europe. But people don't understand the process it takes to get to that point. Before I met Jennifer, I was trading full time. I
Mhm.
was a stay at home dad with my two little kids, and I was on the charts trading, right? Also, I do not trade securities. I do not pose as a licensed broker. I
Okay.
can't have a Series 6, Series 63, Series 7 because of my background, right?
Got got you.
So when it comes to day trading, yes, I can open a trade account. Any convicted felon can open a trade account. A 12-year-old can open a trade account,
I
right?
got
The
right.
brokers are ready to take your money every single day. These are billionaires that you can't even see.
Yeah.
So yes, I've made lots of money, but yes, I've had days where I've lost a lot of money. Like in the past year, my losses outweigh my profits. Do I cry and call the broker and say, "Hey, you scammed me"? No. That's a part of the game you get in. This is a 99.7% risk that you're going to lose your capital.
So Christian,
So
go ahead.
the quote unquote victims, right? That
Hmm.
say that, hey, we want to file a complaint for a lawsuit. These are people that are upset, and it's the blind leading the blind, saying, hey, now we were making money. Christian was the best. He's the best mentor. He's the best teacher. But now we're losing money, and we're not even talking about big amounts of money. There's a person on my complaint for the lawsuit for $100.
A
A
hundred.
$100.
Well, send it to her.
Now that brings me to this point. I send out something called a release letter, right? Because I run a real legit business. This is not a thing where I'm like, all right, cool, like I trade for you, blah, 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 blah. Everything is always paper trail. So people say they have receipts, I have more. I have 10 times more, right?
Okay. Okay.
So you get a release, and this is how I know it was a money grab. You get a release. No one wanted to sign the release. Now there was people that did sign the release because you have clients that understand the game. You have clients that don't understand the game. You have
Sure.
clients that say, "Hey, here's $3,500. Hey, here's $1,500. I want to invest this. I want to grow the money." And then guess what? Once you lose, oh well, you took my money from me. I actually don't even need a client. I haven't accepted a client in over a year now.
Is it
I can
because of
trade on
this?
I can trade on my own
Is this
and make
because of
money.
this though? Is that why you haven't accepted clients?
No, that's actually not the reason. I'm actually building a tech company, and I have to direct all of my focus to that.
Okay.
But
Let
do
me
I still trade? Do I still trade? Most definitely.
Sure. Let me ask you this though. Okay, so when they were paying this consultation fee, is this let me ask you this. I have a friend that got into doing day trading as well, and this was a few years back, and they went to, like, they started taking a course, if you will, where they signed up with this guy, and over a series of so many weeks they would teach them different things to consider when trading. They had them first playing with play money, to trade with play money, until they understood it and had the hang of it and moved on. Is your program like that, where people paying you a consultation fee and then you worked with them for a period of time? Was it like a classroom setting? How did that work? If I were to pay fee, how did it work?
It was very broad. So when I first started my community, and let me tell you why I started my community. I've been on the biggest stages in the world. I've been all over I've traveled country to country, state to state. I've spoken, I've mentored, right? So there's no impact in me getting up at 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock a.m. in the morning and making money, right? Can you agree there's no impact with just making money? Because who are you impacting? You're impacting your bank account.
Sure.
So for me, I've always wanted to be in a position where I could impact and inspire other people.
Okay.
Most people fear trading. It's not that they don't want to learn, they just fear it, but they do want to see their money grow.
Sure.
So I had something called trade signals where I would send out trades every single day, literally copy, paste, profit, right? Now, was every day like that? Did I call some bad trades because I'm human? Most definitely, right?
Okay.
And then I have an education platform, which is a mastery where you pay a fee, pretty much like a university. And I literally walk you through how to trade and how to get in the markets and become successful in the markets. I also had account management where people come to me and they say, hey, I want to grow my money, whether it's $150 or $5,000. I want to grow my money. And one thing I always emphasized to clients at the time was this is not a get rich quick overnight thing. This is not, you're going to lose, you're going to make money, right? I have tons of testimonials of people making money. I can't even count anymore.
Okay.
So my program was literally started in 2021 simply because I wanted to put people in position, because trading is it's a boring hobby, if that makes sense. Like, yes, the money's good, but it's just like I'm on the charts all day.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the reason, and that is the reason why I started my group. And then to answer your question, it was different tiers of my group.
Okay. Okay. There were different tiers. Okay. Do you have any comments about let me ask you this. How did these ladies, I'm thinking most of them are females, that are currently, in there like 10 people that are suing you right now for
It's about 22.
22 people. Okay, and they're all a part of this one suit. Is that correct, or are they separate?
Yeah, it's a pro bono person working behind the scenes. Which their complaint is all the same. It's literally, it's like Chat GPT wrote this complaint and it's all the same complaint. So it's like you form this alliance and you file a complaint and it's completely fine. I've won lawsuits, I've lost lawsuits that I actually filed, right?
Yeah.
So I get it, right? People are upset, whatever. I did my due diligence in sending out release letters saying, hey, you want your funds or you want your, because here's the thing, you're not entitled to a refund. Once I start management for you, or because in my verbiage, I do send out an agreement, right? And the verbiage on that agreement is once trading commences, this becomes non-refundable, because at that point I'm making you money.
Okay.
Whether we're making money or losing, I have started the service.
Okay.
So if you pay a membership fee for something, whether it's a gym or whatever, and you go to that gym for a month and then you come back after a month and say, I want you to give me back the money that I went to the gym for, they're going to look at you crazy. Yeah, you could cancel the membership, but the gym's going to probably have you sign a piece of paper.
I got
You see what I'm saying?
I guess my question is, how did all of these people come together though? And claim to have this same story. Are these people, so are you just saying that these are folks that just are upset that they lost money at trading because they were under the impression they weren't supposed to? Because I did read something that said that you promised a 2 to 3% increase or a profit per day. Is that true?
I never see. That's the thing. That's the thing about the internet. I never promised it. I
Okay.
said that. I said on average,
On
we
average,
do about 2 to 3% growth weekly, right?
week. Okay.
This is week. I said on average. I never said I promise you I'm going to take you from 200 to 2 million in 12 months. But see, the internet likes to go and twist things, right? I'm always transparent. And
That's
if
what I'm
and here's another thing. There's people that try to invest 150, 200,000 with me. You know why? Because they were referred by someone that got the result. I don't run guerrilla ads. I don't do the billboards. I don't do the Facebook ads and all the target marketing. The reason being is because my platform has always been result driven. So if you get a result or you go eat at a good restaurant, you're probably going to go tell people that the food was good if the food was good. That is exactly how my platform went. Now, the
okay.
people that wanted to invest huge amounts, I would literally be on a consultation with them, me or my assistant at the time, and we would say no. First of all, you don't know me. Yes, you got referred to me, but let's build a relationship between me and you first, right? And then later down the line, if you feel like you want to put a crazy amount, a lump sum of money, then we'll talk about it at a later point. But I always denied anything over. I mean, I barely took 5 figures, like a
Okay.
couple of people. But one thing I learned in this industry is you have to be careful who you help
Okay.
because these are people that have formed an alliance and we know who is behind it, right? We've talked about this in multiple interviews. It's all over the internet. Like everyone can see this already, right? It is what it is at this point. These people had a chance to sign a release of claims and get their funds released. They didn't want to sign it. They wanted to go in a lawsuit so they can get compensated for damages. And we'll see how it plays out.
Do
That's
you
it.
Are you being investigated currently by the feds?
No. Do you know what the FBI investigates? They're not running at their 100, $200, $1,500, 25.
Yeah, it's
That's
always
not what they're
75
running after.
and up, right? 75,000 and up is what you can sue in federal court for, but I don't know if it does it always matter about the amount of money though for the feds to investigate. Like we're looking, I mean, I know this is very different, but we're looking at Diddy right now, and he is being charged with a RICO, and it has nothing to do with earning money. It's all about coercion and trafficking, if you
Let me
will.
ask you a question.
So
Is Diddy's case criminal or is it civil?
it's criminal. But I was
Okay.
told, well, I'm not saying I was told. I read that you are being investigated by the feds and that it's due to RICO, quote unquote, RICO offenses.
Okay, so do people see there's a difference between an indictment and charge, and there's a difference
I
between a
agree.
complaint.
I agree.
Okay, so
I,
people go online and say, "Oh, he's been charged," because they want to get the clickbait, right? We already know, like, because the thing about me, I'm gonna shoot straight. So, and I'm pretty sure you do too, right? This is not we're not. I'm just explaining my side because
yeah, I don't care.
I don't get, I don't. I'm a man of my business, and I'm a man that stays off the internet because it's toxic, right? People see one thing and they click it. Oh, Christian Gold's been charged with a RICO case. Do people not understand how extensive a RICO case is? Like I'm moving money through the streets. Like it's all for clicks, and we know that me and Jennifer are a hot topic, and people gonna click on it. That's on them though.
Okay.
That's on them, right? Like I
Okay.
said, it's a complaint for a lawsuit. I filed lawsuits before. Like I get it, right? It is what it is.
Okay, I got a couple other quick questions that are very specific to you and which what we're talking about. One, I saw the interview that you did with Carlos King, and he asked you what your net worth was. You said roughly about $5-6 million, right?
Okay, yeah.
This was during a time though when we were also under the impression that you owed $250,000 to, which what I know now is like more of like what, a restitution sort of thing that you were to pay the victim
It was
of.
restitution. What? Okay, listen. When you
Okay.
watch TV, Reality TV, it's
Yes.
edited.
Gotcha.
I can't control the edit. Okay.
I
On
agree.
Basketball Wives, I'm
Mhm.
painted out to be the villain. Okay.
Okay.
I never even want to film the show. I just show up because I support my wife.
Gotcha.
Like they can kick rocks if I'm being completely honest, right?
Mm, okay.
The situation I received I've received demand letters for healthcare expenses.
Okay.
Now, do I take accountability for like slightly misexplaining it on TV? See, the internet is saying, oh, he asked his wife for 250 grand. That's not the case. I told her this is how we're going to be able to go to Paris because I had travel restrictions at that time. So
Yeah.
I couldn't go out of the country if restitution wasn't paid and all conditions of probation were not met. Now,
Yep.
the court order, yes, it was 12,500. But we're talking about a demand letter for hospital bills that was ordered by the judge for me to pay for her injuries that I didn't inflict, but I did take accountability for it. Like, hey, this is a situation. I take full accountability for it. It is what it is. And that's where the
So
$250,000 figure came
okay,
from.
but the 12.5 was what? Probation fees? What was the 12.5
The
versus
12.5 goes straight to her pocket, and the other goes straight to healthcare bills. That is
gotcha.
how we got that bigger number.
Okay. Okay. And let me say this, you did not explain that very well on Carlos King either. Just so you know. I'm glad you just laid it out for me just now. I appreciate that because I think that
Okay, Carl, we're cool. We're cool with Carlos too, but guess what? You guys were not in the room before it got edited.
no, I agree. Oh, you
Just
mean even
like, just like
Carlos?
I said roughly 5 to 6 million, but the edit was 6 million. It wasn't. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but
I
I guess
can't control what is edited out.
I got you. I guess my question would be if you were worth 5 to 6 million, why would 12,000 or even 250,000 be on the table as a debt?
Okay,
Because
I'm gonna answer two more questions, and this will be one of them. It was never a problem. When you're paying probation, there is a limit that you can pay per month, which is between $300 and $500 per month. You can't say here's 12.5. You pay supervision fees and you also pay restitution fees. When I log into this portal, it's like, hey, what do you want to pay? I enter 300, I go on to the next month. I never went to court, right? See, this is what the internet also talks about, and they put out false information and false narratives. When I went to court, I did not owe 12.5. I had already been paying toward the 12.5.
okay,
And my aunt, of course, she's accurate about a lot of information. I actually did 3.5 years in prison. I I received the 10 to do 7 years. I did 3.5, which means the remaining 3.5 to complete the 7 was on parole, and then I had to do the remaining 3 to complete the 10 on probation.
gotcha.
But
Okay.
you can't just slap. Here's the thing, and I can't answer that question because I'm pretty sure in your head you're probably like, well, why can't you just pay the full 12.5? That's just not how the
Let-
system
Can,
works.
can I tell you a secret? It's not
Yeah.
even a big secret. So I've been on probation, and I actually have a TED talk all about it. I'll send it to Lauren so that you can see it. So I'm a little familiar with restitution, how that works, and even how the probationary fees um, are sometimes separate from the restitution itself. I get
Are
all that.
you here in the state of Georgia?
I am not. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
and I'm not suggesting that it's the same everywhere. I'm just letting you know that I'm not foreign to this process, and that I've actually helped a lot of people who have been through the process. So I guess I'm not in Georgia. I don't know how it works there. I guess still from my understanding, you can pay the courts directly for amounts that are owed to you. You will still have to pay probationary fees because they're the supervision fees, because there is, if as long as you are on supervision, you got to pay them for watching you. So I get that part.
Whether it's believable or not, I've been out of prison since February of 2018. Okay.
Mhm.
And I received this travel violation where this all started hitting the internet. This was last year in August, September, which you guys know about. It's all over the internet. Whether the internet believes it or not, it don't take me that long to play 12-5. If
It
I
doesn't.
could, if
I
I,
think you
if
know
I,
that.
if I could have slid it, I would have slid it. And guess what? It is what it is. I don't dislike my ex. I wasn't trying to drag the process along. Like, this is just the system of how I paid and what I went through. And like this is all court transcripts too. You can hear it from my attorney. Like, my attorney spoke about this. You cannot pay a lump sum in the state of Georgia all at one time. It just,
Okay.
you can't do it.
Okay. You said you'd answer 2 questions, so I got one more for you then, okay?
I'm here.
I want to play something real quick because this I was going to ask your aunt about it, but it makes better sense to ask you. This is there's 2 quick things. Hold on. Good. That one. Okay. Let me play this. This is, and this isn't ambush or anything. I was going to play this for your aunt to wait. Yeah. To tell me what's going on here, because I believe this is Simone, who I think you've been referencing since we've been on here, who is Girl Is That Legal on YouTube, and she's talking to the mother of your child, right? Or your children.
Mhm.
How many kids do you have, Christian?
I have
2?
three. I have 3 children.
Okay. Is she the mother of all 3 children?
No, she's
Okay.
not. She's the mother of my 2 youngest, and I had my oldest son when I graduated high school.
Okay. Are you do you have the same issues with the oldest child's mother as this person's complaining?
I do not. We have a phenomenal relationship.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna play this real quick. You tell me. It's only like a 2 minutes. Okay, tell me what's going on here and what are your thoughts?
Entitled to reimbursement for that too, just under the law. So we got that part. So you get the 2,200. Okay, so how much of 2,200 a month has he been paying?
He was paying for about, it was 4 months. He was paying for about 4 months.
And then what happened?
And then he stopped sending money. He told me that he was going through so much financially and it was a lot going on.
So
And
this clip is
me.
this clip is it's redundant at this point. I know exactly what this is. This is so I don't know if you follow me or if you've seen me break my silence. Only reason I broke my silence is simply because once my kids get involved, that is when that's when we stop it, right?
I got you.
Because
Hold
the
on,
internet, like, like I said, I'll address this and then I'll give it back to my aunt.
sure.
When here's the thing, I keep
Christian,
receipts too.
hold on.
I keep receipts too.
Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on, because I don't want you to think I'm not coming at you aggressively at all. I'm just asking the questions I know people will want to know. Okay, I just want to. Can I play the whole clip and then you respond to it?
I've seen the clip. So, and
My
I'm
audience
listen.
may not have seen the clip.
Okay, but I'm not here to prove the audience wrong, or like I'm not here to prove anyone wrong. Like, I can answer that. We've seen the clip. Everyone in this kitchen has seen the clip,
And I got you, but like I said,
and I'm sure your audience has seen the clip too.
it's only 2 minutes.
So, okay, you can play it. You can play it.
It's just 2 minutes. I promise you.
What month was this?
This just happened. This was back in June. Yeah.
June of 2024. He's going through so much that he can't pay 2,200. Okay, can't pay 2,200. What can he pay?
He has not sent me anything from that at all. Not even support with Pampers, not even anything. I mean, hasn't been time spent with the kids, nothing.
When was the last time he saw the children?
He saw them briefly for a day in May.
Was it with Jennifer?
I believe that she saw them, but as far as spending like quality time, I don't believe so.
Okay. You guys, you don't even talk about that. correct? You don't talk about that necessarily.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had a conversation with Jennifer?
Briefly, yes.
Okay. So that's the whole clip. So with that said, I think this is one of the other questions that people have. If why wouldn't you be paying the mother of your children $2,200 a month? You're worth 5 to 6 million. And why haven't you been able to see the children as well? So your side. I just want to hear your side.
Okay, so that I think that clip or whatever interview, whatever she did with her was 3 weeks ago, maybe Auntie.
Oh, it was just recently?
Yeah,
Okay.
3 weeks ago.
Okay.
No, that was probably
that's
I thought it was last
that
year.
was when she did that bullshit after you had
that was the first one she did last year, I think. Wasn't
yeah.
it?
Oh, and then she did one recently.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, that's the first one.
I just want to make sure I got my bearings right.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that was the first one.
First of all, my children were coming over here, right? Everything was fine until Jennifer and I got married, and it was actually fine. Everything was cool for a lot of people until when we got together. I was dealing with a hot and cold. I don't even like to say baby mom because that's not there. She's the mother of my children. I don't like that BM. I don't like that.
Me either.
I provided for my children financially. Actually, I was sending over $2,200 a month because here and there I was sending money for just like miscellaneous things. I was paying for a nanny,
Okay.
right? So we're talking about a little bit over $3,000 a month. She then filed for child support. I actually pretty much begged to be on child support because once there's a court order and someone decides to say, hey, if I decide, hey, I don't want to pay, I
Yep.
go to jail.
Yep.
If she says, hey, I don't want to honor the visitation rights, I'm not dropping them off, she's held accountable for that.
Yeah.
So I said, okay,
They're
we
separate
can,
issues. They're separate issues.
if we can get a court order put in place, then perfect. I seek a legal advice from a family law attorney, and he said, until we get this settled in court, you stop sending money. Cool. I'm taking legal advice. Okay. Up until then, I'm providing for my children a little bit over $3,000 a month, all in all. I was receiving invoices from her to have paper trail that I was pretty much supporting my children financially. And then, like I said, it'll be Cash Apps, Apple Pays, and things like that on the side.
Mm-hmm.
She then turned back around because she's up and down. And she said, on my birthday of last year, she said, I need you to check your email. I checked my email and she wrote the court to dismiss the child support petition. So it's like, what are we doing? Are you playing these mind games with me? Like, what are we doing? So, okay, cool. You get the letter notarized, you send this in to the clerk of court, they dismiss it. Then she gets upset again and refiles with the county we're in.
Okay.
So now we're back to we're playing ping pong at this point. Of course, I'm getting frustrated because I'm just like, the comment about, oh, he doesn't want to see his children, that is completely false. I've reached out multiple times where it got to the point where she sent me a cease and desist to start reaching out. So if I get a cease and desist on probation, and then you say, oh, well, he's harassing me, he keeps texting me, then now I'm in trouble. So it puts me in a weird place. You tell me to start reaching out. You block me on every platform. So how can I I can't even reach out even if I wanted to. See, this is the side that the internet does not see and hear.
But you can't file charges file for visitation with her.
You cannot file visitation if you do not know where they live. And that is something that became ongoing. Fast forward to today, we have a child support order. Thank you, Jesus, finally, right? And now because in court, I said, with all due respect, this is not out of malicious intent. I'm asking for your address so I can have a sheriff deliver paperwork for a legitimation for petition. A petition for legitimation. She declined that because she was hell bent on getting a certain amount of money. So it's pretty much like, you're going on the internet saying that I don't support and take care of my kids and I don't want to see them. But pretty much in the same breath, you're just like, hey, it's as long as I'm getting my money every single month, cool. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to go back and forth with you. This is completely fine. I'll go through the courts. I'll hire a private investigator and we'll find the address. Right? So that is the answer. And that is the concrete truth.
You said there's a court order now. So you're paying child support now,
That's
right?
correct. That's
And
correct.
okay, but there was almost a year that there was no child support.
Let me tell you something. So there was a year of back and forth. I submitted my financials to the courts.
Okay.
I also did a paternity test because now I'm trying to go to legitimation, right? I know that they're my kids, but you have to
Yeah,
go through this process.
absolutely. Yep.
There was a lot of back and forth. She wasn't submitting her financials. Guess what? A day before court, the attorney general of the Department of Child Services reaches out to me saying, "Hey, we have to continue this 30 more days because with child support, when they do the worksheet, they have to have the dad's income and the mother's income."
Yeah.
30 more days pass by, 60 days pass by. We have to continue it again. So I was never the one dragging the court case out. Also on the internet, they say, oh, he missed 2 court dates. If you miss court in the state of Georgia, there will be a warrant for your arrest. There's no questions asked.
Yeah.
Like you don't
Most
show
places,
up like
but
so when people see first on the internet, they believe it. And listen, people are entitled to their own opinion. But like I said, when it comes to my children, I broke my silence because, like I said, I don't do the back and forth internet thing that people do. I'm out here doing IPAs every single day, right?
you're doing
That
what?
is what I
What is
do.
that? What'd you say? IP.
IPAs are income producing
Oh,
activities.
IPAs. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So like I'm just like that. It's not my lane to get online and do that. Like I've been quiet. I've dealt with attacks from my wife's castmate. I've dealt with attacks now from my children's mother. I've dealt with attacks with this attorney. I don't even mention her name because it's just irrelevant to do it. But that's my side of the story. And that here's the thing. I only will tell the truth because I've been telling the truth. I've owned up to being a convicted felon. I love my children. I love my wife. Do I have a past? You do too. I do. My aunt, my wife has a past. Am I perfect? No, but I do know my intentions. Have I made mistakes? Most definitely. But that does not stop what I'm doing in the present and what God has ordained for me in the future. And that's it. God bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I got a question. I got one question for Jen. I don't know if she's sitting nearby, but here's my question for Jen. Um, I this is what I will say. I understand why friends, because I've had friends that have questioned, who I've chosen as mates for myself. And I have understood that it was done in love. Is there anything, did she ever feel as if some of the folks who questioned her relationship with Christian, that it came from a good place, as opposed to, I understand we're talking about, she and Evelyn have had history, decades long history, where we met her as Evelyn's best friend. Did she ever think when she and Evelyn got back together, because I know that there was a break in their friendship, they got back together, they were cool. Did she ever give Evelyn the benefit of the doubt that maybe she was coming from a good place, or no?
So I can answer that very quickly. There have been real friends of mine that have asked me things, and once I have a conversation, they let it go because
Yeah,
that's what your real friends do. And
true.
that's what I would do for my real friends as well. I wouldn't go on a whole rampage and get obsessive and do all of this other weirdo ass shit. So maybe in the beginning it came from a good place, but it went to some place that is not good. So if the intention was good, it did not end up to be that way. It's like if you have concerns, you have a conversation, the person says what they want to say, and you leave it alone. I'm 49 years old. Let me do what the fuck I want to do. If I fall on my face, which I have before, I have always got the fuck back up. So why are you so concerned? You have a fucking daughter. Be concerned about that. Cause that nigga got shit going on. Like, leave me alone. I'm a grown ass woman. So it's too much. It's
Jen, let me
way
ask
too
you this.
much.
Let me ask you this, and I get that this is the final straw for you where this is concerned because that's your husband. So I get that. But girl, the final straw for me would have been when she was running across that damn table. How did you get past that and try to mend that relationship?
Well, I think what people don't realize is that, you know, I get it. It's like we're filming this show and people think that we came back to being best friends. That's not the case. Like I never saw Evelyn outside of filming. If we were filming, yes, I saw her. Did I go have drinks with her, go get lunch, go to dinner? Never outside of filming. So I think there's this false perception that this girl is like my best friend. She's not. My best friend, her name is Joy, who planned my bridal shower. Like that's not my best friend. So let's just like clear that up.
Okay.
So when you are not in my life in that capacity and you do all this extra shit, it doesn't come from a good place.
And I
And
heard you say
that's all I have to say.
I
Like,
heard you
I'm
say in
over
a
it.
recent interview that, I guess the biggest issue was the fact that she brought it up during the
Hot mic.
yeah.
There was a hot mic moment.
Oh, okay. And I thought it was she said something at the reunion and
Yes,
Jennifer.
that was they addressed that at the reunion. They were addressing the hot mic moment.
Okay,
She got caught on hot mic talking about Jennifer, and that's what they addressed at the reunion.
gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
And that would bother me. Like if this was my good friend and this is the first time we're having this discussion about your concerns for me and my relationship, I would think you would have had that conversation with me in private. So I
Yes,
get
but she talked about it. But we going back when Christian proposed, she was in there fanning herself, crying as if she was so happy and everything, and that went from that to talking about her on a hot mic.
gotcha.
So that went so and that's something else on how you act. Well, the question you said, how did I get into this?
And that's
I just yes, I just getting to that. I got into this because I'm going to be very protective of Jen, of Christian. As you can see, there that we are. I think we're protective of each other. We are. That's just how we are about each other. I hope that that's how family. I know a lot of people that's not their family dynamic, but mine. That's how ours is, and I don't take lightly. Like I just don't play about her, just like I am about him. And when the hot mics, once we got to Paris for the ceremony for the wedding in Paris, she was making Instagram posts and things like that, subliminal posts, about Jennifer and different things like that. She called me a cunt,
I was
as
gonna ask
well.
you that. Yeah.
Yes, so you called me a cunt, and for you to be a woman, not a color, you calling me derogatory.
Uh-oh. Not again.
Calling
Oh, there you go. Okay, okay.
you're calling me a cunt. You're calling Jackie a cockroach. You call OG a monkey. I take that personal at the same time. And let's not forget, she told me to pull up. She
So
told me to pull up.
this is what I want to bring because I have these screenshots from a
Mhm.
conversation because I was like, where did that come from? Where Evelyn called you out your name, right? So
Mhm.
this screenshot here is Monty, right? Speaking
Armani.
initially to he's responding to a post that Evelyn made, right? And
Yes.
she's subbing you in the post. Is that the case?
No, no, she's subbing Jennifer.
She's subbing Jennifer. Okay.
Yes.
And so Monty says, why don't you tag her? Stop with the subs. And then you respond, because she's full of shit. That's why. And then Simone, attorney Simone Redwine says, Auntie, now why you being mean? You're too pretty to be mean. Your favorite niece, right? Then Evelyn comes back behind this and she's talking to you now. She says, Lauren, just tell your fake nephew to pay the victims and that poor woman who is on disability, CUNT.
Mhm.
I'll be in LA waiting for you. Want to pull up? And so you're saying you did
I
try to
did.
pull up multiple
I
times
did, in fact. I did, in fact. I stayed in LA 6 weeks.
and never once could you meet up with her, huh?
No, never did she, never.
Now, Evelyn acts as if one of the reasons why she's even involved is because Carl's cousin
Hmm.
was someone who felt scammed, right?
Hmm.
What's her name?
Hmm.
Kiki, I think her name.
Yes. Yes, but the thing about it is Evelyn was posting subliminals way before this whole Kiki thing came
Mhm.
up.
Okay.
She had been posting subliminals. The hot mic moment happened before the Kiki.
Let me ask you something. You said something recently in an interview where you said there's a couple things that Evelyn won't address or people she won't address, and the person LG is one of them. Is that
Hmm.
Laura Govan?
I declined to
That's a
provide that
yes. That's a
information.
yes. It's Laura. No.
No, I
So,
decline. I declined
uh-huh.
to
Okay.
answer that. I'll decline that one. She
Okay.
know who I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. I think we all know who you're talking about. Okay. So why do you think Evelyn is just all bark and no bite? Like what do you think
Absolutely,
about?
absolutely,
And what
absolutely.
and do you think that what's her motive for doing all this? Is it the storyline? Is it to deflect from what else is going on in her life? What do you think?
Jealousy. Um, I feel like is a lot of it. Control, money, and cameras make a lot of people tough. But when it comes down to really being tough, she's all barking. You know, that's why she deflects. That's why she goes to derogatory statements because you can't. You because you're all barking out. You know, like people talk about OG and different things like that or whatever. When it comes to real confrontation or her telling me to pull up, why would you tell me to pull up if you knew that you were not going to have a conversation with me or you wasn't going to confront? I have no problem. Again, like I said, if you hit me, you cannot determine how hard I hit you back. Okay?
All the time.
So yeah, so I hit back, and whoever gets the licks, because I'm hitting back, whether it's Shanice, whoever it is, they just got to take it up with her because
Mm-hmm.
they getting licks. Because when I start passing them out, and that's what I'm talking about verbally. You call me a cunt, you say these things or whatever. I'm coming from you. I'm going to talk about, the fact that you and your daughter
I was
then
about to
had
ask
sex
you
with the
about it.
same man. They had to say, I'm not going to be filtered.
So, okay. Speaking of which, I was about to ask you about that. So you did make a comment that look, she and her daughter dated the same or have screwed the same man,
Mm-hmm,
and now the daughter has a baby by him.
mm-hmm.
He is a felon as well,
And
and
she sexualized her daughter on episode 3 when they were in the yoga and she bent over. She said that's how Blaze got here. I don't say that I mean, I may have a conversation with my daughter about certain things, but your daughter, you sexualize your daughter, the fact that she had sex with the man and had a child with the man that you had sex with and your friend had sex with, and he has a lawsuit for a sexual assault case that he just lost his home to. So at the end of the day, you're still sexualizing your daughter. That's what hoes do.
so there was a whole situation where Tiffany, who is the mother of 3 of the game's children, correct? I think it's 3.
2. She's a mother of
2.
2.
Okay, the oldest child is not his, right?
It's
With
not
her.
hers. The oldest child is not hers.
Oh, okay. So she has 2 with him.
She
Gotcha.
has 2 with him. Yes.
And we got to know her because they had a reality show for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that Tammy Roman was friends with Tiffany. Evelyn is saying she was never friends with Tiffany, although we see multiple pictures with her hugged up
Yeah.
with her at different events.
Yes, I
Okay.
showed that on my channel, on my YouTube, my show and tell, different pictures. I show her holding Tiffany's youngest daughter. I showed all that. But I mean, hey, she's used to being a fake friend. So that's what, she has done or whatever like that. She's been a fake friend all along. She pretends she's a pretender. She pretends to be tough and she pretends to be a friend. She pretends to have things going on and things like that or whatever. Jen has a lot of brands. She protects her brands. She protects herself. Again, I've said before, um, I love the fact that Jennifer doesn't try to make me be someone I'm not, because she's a princess. She is completely a princess, and I love that I love that Christian treats her um as a princess. He does. He's a great husband, a great friend to her. I mean, everything. He's good for her as well as she is him. But she knows that Auntie is really rough around the edges. I'm just not that princess type, girl type, or whatever like that. I am just get it where I just come from a family. We in the alley, we in the streets. That's how I am. I'm really about that. Like, I'm just rough around the edges. I mean, Jen softens me. She softens me where I try to, I'll dress up girl. Like I told her, I wore more makeup since I known Jen than I ever in my life. So she, and I love that because I look at things that she wears, and she's an amazing person. And that's just not to be like
What
my
is
head stuck up her ass or things like that. Because I have other cousins and family members that I adore and I love them. But the topic is Jen and Christian. That's why I say that. It's just I have family that I love. And the thing about it is my family, my own family that I come from Alabama, they
Mhm.
love Jen and Christian just as well. And they're on go too. I've had family members like, we flying out to LA too. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I got this. So they have a whole lot of people riding behind them.
What do they call you? Both of them.
Auntie.
Both of them call you Auntie?
Both of them call me Auntie. They call me Auntie. Their friends call me Auntie. I'm Auntie. I mean, I think the internet is calling me Auntie at this point. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
but no,
Hilarious.
Jen calls me Auntie too, and I love it. I wouldn't want her to call me that the term is very endearing to me. I am her auntie. I told Christian, I'm gonna be her auntie, whether you here or you here now, because me and her share that bond. I
Okay.
love her to death. They don't live far from us. If there's anything going on and the internet then did something that pissed them off, me and Uncle are in the car and we coming over here.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Yes. So
Well,
there's a lot of tough questions and a lot of things that's out there. And we're just protective. And they're moving to Vegas and we're moving to Vegas too.
are you? Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm 3 hours away. I'm coming to Vegas.
Yes,
Okay.
we're moving to Vegas with them because we support and want them to have support. And because of all this kind of stuff that goes on, we would never leave them. Never,
Okay.
ever leave them.
And I know that Jennifer, lost her mom. I don't know, what type of other family she has. Look, I've lost both of my parents. My only biological sibling is just me and my son. I mean, I have cousins and things. So I get like how important family is. And when you don't have that type of support and then finally you get it, it's a blessing. So I don't have any qualms about how Auntie has shown up out here in these streets because I get it. I get it. That's your family, good, bad, or
Hey,
indifferent.
to
That's
be
your
honest
family.
with you, I mean, my last fight was 4 years ago.
4 years.
Maybe, yeah.
What you doing fighting 4 years ago though, Auntie?
I fight with my kids. If my son and my daughter get into it, whatever, I'm right out there with them.
Lord have mercy,
So
Jesus.
my last
What
fight was just 4 years ago.
girl? We don't want you fighting, okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm completely okay with it.
No, we
That's
don't
just
want it. Let me ask you this, and one last
yes.
one last question.
I do it, but it was 4 years ago, and believe me, Hey, I hold my own.
Here's the thing, and I bet you do. I bet you do. My question would be this too, and again, this is probably more of a Jen question, but considering that the show is based on the basketball wives, that is, it's all about conflict. I mean, it's not even exciting if there's not any conflict. Is that a healthy environment for Jen at this point, from your perspective? Is that a healthy environment for her to continue if everybody on there is going to be attacking not only her but now her husband and bringing up all this dirty laundry that may or may not even be accurate? Is it worth it?
I'll put it this way. Jen, I tell her all the time, like, there should be a billboard with the word unbothered, and Jen should be the person to it because she's so unbothered. Like, she really handles this so well. She is very unbothered. I'm not gonna sit here and say like some of the things don't bother her because now it's become a little bit personal for her. What the attacks on camera and different things like that, she feels like leave her husband out of it. Like how he feels don't fuck with my wife. That's how she feels like don't fuck my leave my husband out of it. You can say whatever you want to, you can do these things or whatever. Like I may feel like you can say what you want to say about me, but don't say anything about them. They may feel the same way. Don't fuck with my auntie. We feel you probably can see that now how they was like they came in, like so we are like that. And my husband, which is really the quiet one, is really the one that is a gentle giant that you don't want to piss off. So it's like she handles that so well that we really can kind of relax. So I'm not going to say whether it is, I know the show is what they do is conflict. The show has lasted for what, 15 years or whatever it's been on. However they see fit for them to do it. A lot of the show is not scripted. I mean, a lot of it is not scripted because that's really the conversations that's happening. That's really the dynamic. Nobody gets the fuck along. Everybody's here and there. So it's really the true dynamic of what it is what they film. Okay. In all actuality, they really get it's probably one of the most real reality shows on TV right now because nobody fucking likes each other.
Let me ask you this, and then and I'll let this be my last question, then I'll give you some final words. Shawnee made an appearance recently on the show, and she seemed to be dismissive, if you will, towards Jen. Jen, from what I understood, what I gathered from the show, Jen did invite her to the Paris wedding. Is that correct? And yes. She declined or did not attend, obviously. But when Jen was mentioned in passing about, are you going to the Vegas wedding, she kind of turned her nose up like, no. What do you think that was about? And do you think that, I'm guessing Shawnee is not the end all be all decision maker about who's on the show and who's not, I'm guessing. Because if she were, I would think, why would she have Laura on? Why would she have different people? Why would she have Jen on if she didn't like? Why would Brandy be back? Like, I'm just curious. What is Shawnee's role on this show? And two, what did Jen feel about how she kind of dismissed her in that way?
In my personal opinion, I'm glad that there is how do they say that? There are higher paychecks. There are higher people. There are superior people. There are people that are in above. How some people like that's above my pay grade. I'm happy there's some people above her pay grade. Because that keeps the show good, because if she is always going to protect everything that Evelyn does or always get rid of people who goes up against Evelyn, then the show would had people in and out just make it about Evelyn, because honestly, if we just really keep it real, if Shawnee made the decision, when has Evelyn ever been a basketball wife?
Never.
Never. So why the fuck why is she even on there, period?
Yeah.
Why is she still on there? Jennifer's been a basketball wife. Brandy's a basketball wife. Jackie's a basketball wife.
Tammy.
Laura and Gloria both were basketball wives.
No, no,
Tammy was
no. Laura's not a
well,
basketball
she
wife.
was a girlfriend. Let's just say she was a girlfriend. Let's say
She
she
had
was a
5
girlfriend.
children though by man, so I
Yeah,
think
well, yeah. So what we say, Gloria was, yeah, we talk about basketball wives or they were dating or whatever like that. So we're gonna say, however, my point, she wasn't with like I don't even think her and Antoine was still together when
they,
she got on the show.
they weren't.
Exactly. So at least Laura and Gloria were with someone, a basketball player. But so my thing is, all these people have been on there, but she's the one who stood the test of times and ain't been no basketball wife ever. And she wasn't even a basketball girlfriend when the show started. So
I agree.
she's really, and she has no story. I mean, when is the last time she had a real storyline?
I agree. I agree. And that's why I said, what do you think as far as, because my thought would be, it has to be a higher pay grade because, when when Shawnee made the comment to Brandy, thank you for your services, but Brandy came back. It was like, well, wait a minute. I'm sure Shawnee was hoping she could get her fired, but evidently she couldn't. And when I think about the people who are on there with her nose turned up to Jennifer, and then you got the situation with Brandy, and just different things that have occurred. Laura came back last year, so it's like if she really had that type of pull, why would those people be there?
Well, it's good that there's people above her pay grade because they're the ones who keep things intact. They really do. They keep the show running, they keep the ball things. I love Jennifer on the show. I love what she brings to the show. She brings us fashion, she brings us class, she brings us Barbie. She brings us everything that a classy woman on TV should do. I love Jackie on the show. You know what I mean? I really do. I love Jackie on the show. I love Jackie's personality. I know Ming. I think, I've been knowing Ming for a very long time.
Oh, really?
Yes, Ming knows me, my family. She knows Christian. I mean, she knows Christian. I mean, she knows Christian's uncles, his dad. She knows everybody. I've been knowing Ming for a very long time.
Oh, wow.
So I would just say this again, there's really good that there's some people above her pay grade because they keep the people who we want to see on
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
I think Evelyn should be, I mean, personally, she just had, if she should start talking about the things that's going on in her house and things with her daughter. And if she talked about the things that was going on to make that her storyline, then okay, she has a lot of people, a lot of different, I mean, she has a lot of stuff going on that was my point. She has a lot of stuff going on in her own home that she could be talking about instead of talking about. When Brittany started dating Kevin, she didn't start that mess with him because we all know how.
When Brittany started dating Kevin, who's Brittany?
Kevin Gates, yes, when Brittany started
Oh,
dating Kevin
Brittany
Gates.
Renner and Kevin Gates.
Come on now, she's not gonna do that. She's not gonna try that because we all know how he is. She would never try it. She just came for somebody. She know how Jennifer is just mild, unbothered. So she came for someone who she thought that she was gonna be able to do this, and she fucked around and found out. Because she's a part of a family that we gonna go hard.
So so then to answer the question, I guess you do think she's good for the show. I'm guessing you think it's a good idea for her to come back. And I'm guessing that means if she comes back, does that mean you guys would be open to being on the show too in the future?
I think she deserves her own show. Honestly, I think both of them deserve their own. I think both of them deserve their own show. Her and Christian, and the dynamic of things they do and everything they did to me, they deserve their own show.
Yeah, I could see.
Yeah, it's they got a good storyline. Yeah, and it's in it. They got a good storyline, and it's definitely not about hoish behavior. So they have a very. I think they deserve their own show. And like I said this, and I would say this for the whole money grab thing, and I know my husband doesn't agree with this at all. But I said to them, when Jen goes back to filming, I don't care about a contract. I don't care about even getting paid. If she keeps coming after my nephew, I'm going to keep saying what I have to say, whether it's on camera or off camera, and I don't care about no money. It's not about the money. It's not about no. Everybody keeps saying, oh, she trying to get a role, or she trying to get money, she trying to get a paycheck. I don't give a fuck about a paycheck. I am a housewife. I sit at home every day. So, and do what I travel. We travel with them. I'm not missing anything. We go out to eat. We do everything. I still whatever I need to go to, I do. So therefore, it's not about a check. This is my family. I'm going to always be this person about my family regardless. So if it's on camera where I'm on her neck, I don't need no pay. I ain't got to get paid nothing to stay on her neck. Now, my husband, being the person that he is, with the MBA that he has, he would say, "Oh, hell no!" But he understands. But he also understands where I'm coming from. I don't give a fuck about the money. Leave my family alone. Stop trying to get your alliances. And I know they don't have to say my name, but Simone, the same way. Leave my family alone.
Lauren, thank you so much for coming. I said that we were going to do members only. I think we got more than what we anticipated tonight. I really appreciate you making time to have this discussion. Look, I get where you're coming from. A lot of people are going to have a lot to say, right? But I get that that's your baby, because I call my cousins.
He is. He is. He is. He's my baby. He gonna always be my baby. He been my baby since he was little, playing basketball in big t-shirts. He's been my baby, and stuff like that. And now Jen too. I call her my baby too. She is my baby as well. And that's just how I feel. I am the only child. So my nieces and nephews that I have and stuff mean the absolute world to me.
Yeah.
And that's never going to change.
I got you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. I like you. Absolutely. I like
yes. Girl, you got family members blowing up my phone right now. Like they like red. I was like, oh God.
Was they mad at me?
They like, oh, wait a minute. They just like, ooh, they hearing stuff that maybe they've heard, but it just kind of reopens and rehashes, and then they get mad all over again. And then I have to calm everybody else down because everybody want to take a flight to LA right now. So
well, we don't want that. Look, I wish them all the best. I hope that everything resolves itself as it should with Christian and his children, with he and Jen, with Jen in the show, with you guys in your move to Vegas. I wish you all the best, and I appreciate all that.
Thank you very much, and I want you to keep lookout because we're gonna have a glorious vindication party.
Okay. All right. Invite me, girl. Invite me here.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Well, anywho, I want to thank all of y'all for showing up for me and for the show tonight. I am going to go over to members only. I'm gonna set up a separate stream. So if there are any members over here that want to come and chit chat with me just for a few minutes, because I just kind of want to do a little recap, not for long, but a little recap of tonight's show. Thank you to everybody who came out. Thank you for everyone who gifted memberships on today. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and gift 5 more memberships. Hold on. There we go. I'm gonna give 5 more just because y'all blessed me on tonight. I want to bless you back. And then we're gonna go over there and have a little chit chat. What you say? CJ said, V, Evelyn deserves time to come on your show to state her case against all allegations. She's welcome to come on the show. Evelyn Lozada, they want you on the show, child. Come on over, girl. You can come to the show. I don't have a problem with that at all. A lady 747 said, give me 10 minutes so I can call my mama and thank her for not being a ghetto hot mess. Would you shut up, Oh, God. Oh, CJ, thank you for gifting the membership, too. Okay, so let me look and see who got these memberships. Can I see it over here? Hold on. Okay, so the 5 I gave out, it's the Rock, Sherry with a Y, Sweet Peasy, Sunshine, and Rossi all got gifted memberships. And then CJ gifted CB. All right. CB got a membership. Uh-oh, it's the Rocks. She done gifted a membership too. Wait a minute. Let me look over here. Oh my goodness. It's the Rocks. Thank you, Mama. It's the Rocks. Gave her membership to I'll do it on Monday. I'll do it on Monday. Just got a membership. Yay. Okay, so it'll take me like 5 minutes to set up the membership live, and we're gonna go over there and we're gonna chit chat. Okay, y'all. All right. I love y'all to pieces. Thank you so much. If y'all didn't on the way in, please hit the like button on the way out, child. Okay. And then we're gonna go for the after party. It won't be long, okay? Because I know there's another live happening tonight, okay? With our friends Legacy Moon and Native Tribe Urban Media. Okay, so we're gonna go over there too. I just got to talk to y'all for a minute. Okay, so I love y'all to pieces, and ain't nothing, not a damn thing you can do about it. Smooches.